Exploring. Sonic Colors want you to spend a lot of time exploring, either red coins or sometimes just the level goal itself takes a bit of exploring and finding your way around to find it. I got a couple problems with that. First of all, as I explained before with the 2D and 3D transitions, the game demands me to completely change the way my brain is functioning all the time. I have no idea what I'm supposed to think or in what mindset I'm supposed to be. Is this a fast-paced arcade game, a cutscene, a weird minigame, a freaking Zelda dungeon? My brain is not in an exploration mindset. It's a Sonic game. I got a time limit, need to go to get good score, blah blah blah. My brain is going, oh, fast, 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 let's go! And so whenever the game forces me to explore again, it's a violent jolt to me again. There's no transitions. I'm literally supposed to go from ungodly speeds mode to Zelda mode. I can't just flip my brain into being a completely different mindset so quickly. You need to build that stuff up. Not to mention instant death bits. Don't know about you, but I'm not in the mood to take risks and go exploring when I can fall to my death at any point. And I want to talk more in depth about exploring for a moment in general. This is another thing that's probably just how my personal brain works, so some people may disagree with this. Okay, imagine. I'm playing a video game and it wants me to explore a desert. Now I want that desert to look like this. Rocks in the middle, where I start, a couple rock formations, a few palm trees there, a random smudge of green, a sand temple. See, they are landmarks. They have a meaning. They bring a context. So when I see these things, I get data. And based on that data, I can make a decision. Look, it's temple. That's probably where I need to go. Or perhaps, hey, that smudge of green looks suspicious. There's probably a hidden treasure there that will help me. Etc. Data. I use data to make a decision, and that decision will be punished or rewarded. That, to me, is how exploring works in a video game. It's how my brain is trained to deal with exploration locations in life. When I go hiking in the country and I'm lost, I look around. Oh, the clock tower of a church. There must be a village there. Oh, train tracks. Those will eventually lead to a city. Oh, a bus stop. Those occasionally have a city map in them, etc. I look for things that have meaning, a context to me, and based on that I can make a decision where to go. Now let's get back to the desert. What if it's filled with just random stuff? I just go into a random direction and hope it will randomly bring me to whatever I'm supposed to run into. That's not exploring, that's just doing something. I'm just hoping that the thing that needs to happen quickly happens so that the game can go back to, being a game and doing things again. That's just how my brain works. This is why I hate 2D games that require me to explore. 2D games are by definition abstract. My brain can only process an environment when it's in a 3D setting, like the real world. When the locations are made out of things that have meaning and are not just a random collection of floating platforms. With the risk of losing some serious nerd credentials, I can't stand playing Metroid.
You don't like Metroid? That game's a fucking masterpiece!
My brain just explodes when I play this game. Doors, a million doors in the cave, and after doors another cave, and more doors that lead to the other caves, and how the hell am I supposed to know which of the bazillion doors lead to generic cave number 50,000?
That's because you're doing it wrong! The thing about Metroid is that the world you're in is supposed to overwhelm you. That's the drama, the point of the game. The art of finding your way in a dangerous and unknown environment, being in the dark, helps set the atmosphere. Have you ever seen Aliens? Scary, claustrophobic corridors?
Yeah, I get the inspiration, just not how the heck I'm supposed to know what to do.
You're overreacting. In Super Metroid you usually only have two options. Then again, you're thinking too much. It's not about looking and thinking, it's about instinct. The experience of being lost and slowly discovering the logic of the level design. Just like the old Sonic games teach you to have an instinct, so does Metroid.
Fair enough. Anyway, the point is, I'm not implying Sonic Colors' level design is so open-ended as Metroid, thank god. But it does give me the same panic attack whenever stuff like this happens. But where Metroid at least sets up an atmosphere of fear and being lost, so it's all part, as Alex explained, to the experience, abstract exploring doesn't fit well with me in Sonic. But I guess I can't blame Sonic Colors for that, stuff like this already started in Sonic Advance too. Although I didn't like it there either. Some people like it, it's just how your brain works. I see side-scrolling platform games mainly as obstacle courses. Like the old Sonic games use multiple pass modes as an obstacle. Do well and you get the upper route with lots of rewards, do bad and you get the awkward lower half. Where in Colors, exploring becomes a bigger part of the actual level design, which rubs me in the wrong way. And that is the biggest difference between Sonic Colors 2D segments and classic Sonic. So much that it even bleeds through Sonic Generations. Remember I skipped over the question if Generations succeeded in emulating classic Sonic level design? Well, here's the answer. You can argue that the old Sonic games had tons of platforms and awkward bits, especially Sonic CD and Sonic 1. But they used speed as vital part of the level design as well. Mastering slopes and loops was essential to the platforming. From Sonic Colors on, speed becomes more of a separate little interruption, which just happens and then disappears again. The actual meat of the level design doesn't require or use speed, and instead it's simple exploring and pure platform navigating. I may have exaggerated a little bit about the block puzzles, maybe. Bad memories. Fact remains, speed becomes more of an optional little interruption, and the platforming is slower and more pure platform and exploration focused than ever before. Which, again, baffles me since Sonic is faster than before. Sonic 4 did manage to emulate the classic level design a bit better, in that speed was more of a genuine part of the way you navigate through the stages. Although in that game I noticed there was an extreme focus on non-stop events happening, with very little breathing room like this in between. Another thing, am I the only one who dislikes using wisps to go exploring? Some, like the drilling, often gives me very little context or direction where to go, which is like my desert exploring example if I had to explore an empty desert. I'm not really exploring, I'm just going in a random direction until I hopefully run into something. And the spike wisp, it does this damn annoying thing that if I'm facing in one direction, turn on the spike, jump on the ceiling and then spin dash, Sonic would randomly go into the other direction. You have no idea how often I died or got lost because I keep fighting with the game in what direction Sonic should go. As a final note before I leave Sonic Colors alone, there's one more statement I want to challenge. Sonic Colors is praised for being the first 3D Sonic that has Super Sonic in all levels. I take offense at this statement because 1. Sonic R is the first 3D Sonic with Super Sonic playable. 2. I refuse to call Sonic Colors a 3D game. And 3. There's a reason why Super Sonic wasn't playable in most other Sonic games. The level designs aren't compatible with him. I talked before how Sonic is way too fast and unfocused to navigate through the levels, so having a character who's even more fast and out of control is awkward to say the least. But sure, I appreciate the thought, and I'm sure there's at least a couple acts in the game that accommodate him better. And in Sonic Generations, Super Sonic finally got a game that does, for the majority, accommodate him. So, yay, Super Sonic fans finally got their wish. So, is Sonic Colors bad? No. Again, I don't want to focus on judgments on this series, it's not a review show. Just because I dislike Colors doesn't mean I dream of telling you to dislike it as well. I just want you to see how Sonic Colors level design works, and how it relates to the rest of this series. And it's good to have another 2D Sonic game. So Sonic elitists can finally stop complaining that 3D Sonic games are overshadowing the 2D games.
Oh, indeed, 2D games are rare. The only 2D games we had were Sonic 4 Episode 1, Sonic 4 Episode 2, Sonic Unleashed for the iOS, Sonic Rivals 2, Sonic Colors for the DS, Sonic Generations for the DS, and Sonic Jump. Those poor few 2D games against all the pure 3D games like nothing.
Well, there's Sonic Dash and Sonic All-Stars Racing, if that counts.
All pure 2D like you whiny bitches won. And where is my 3D Sonic game? Here? Or perhaps here? No, not here. It seems it does not exist. I really must share something with you. When I played 06 again, you know, for research of this video, do you know what my first thought was? You wanna know? I was amazed, shocked that I didn't get those damn annoying 2D interruptions. Oh, 3D, yeah! Oh, I really miss that. But now the whiny Sonic fans have taken over and we constantly need stupid 2D Sonic levels because old Sonic games are so much better. What pisses me off the most is that there only seems to be two Sonic eras to most people, classic and modern. You either love Sonic Colors or you love Sonic 1. I do respect the first Sonic nostalgia, but it's not the only existing nostalgia and we often forget to listen to the Adventure era fandom. Sonic Adventure 2 was the first damn Sonic game outside of a Sega system. It introduced a lot of people to Sonic. Many now feel frustrated to be ignored. I personally believe you guys give a voice to those who keep falling in between the boat and the dock. Except Luke, he sucks.
Who? We get a lot of complaints of talking too much about Sonic Adventure 2 favorably though. Oh well, all eras are ignored and overrated at the same time. Fans. Anyway, so that concludes this level design chapter. Good grief, it's large. Anyway, there's two reasons why I made this chapter. One, I see a lot of people talking about Sonic Adventure 3, starting petitions demanding Sega to make one. This baffles me. For one, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are vastly different already. Does anyone really know what a Sonic Adventure is? You do realize that both Sonic 2006 and Sonic Unleashed can arguably be called Sonic Adventure 3? Can anyone make a list of things Sonic Adventure 3 should have? And more importantly, make a list where a big majority of other Sonic fans would agree on? Now, all those petitions seem silly to me, like demanding Sega to recreate a mythical game made completely out of vague youth memories and desires and demands that contradict with every other Sonic fan. Not to mention, as this chapter has proven, I have doubts the current people in charge of making Sonic games can even recreate the classic games. So they probably can't entirely recreate the adventure games either. Make a parody of them perhaps, but probably get the details wrong. The devil is in the details, my friends. If you want a Sonic Adventure 3 so badly, do me a favor and think about what we said in this chapter, explore deeper into Sonic games and make a real list of what a Sonic Adventure 3 should be. The only solid arguments I heard so far was that the character rock theme should return. Which, yeah, that's pretty cool. And the Chao Garden should be back. Well, in the latter case, good news! Sonic Adventure 3 is out now, and it's called Sonic Advance 3. That one had a Chao Garden. Or Night's Journey into Dreams, it's my dream counts, maybe. Whatever. So, and the second and last reason I made this chapter, well, I expected the new Sonic game to be announced around this time. You know, reading reviews always frustrates me because the reviewers always talk so damn general. I don't get any real information out of them. Seriously, try finding a review when a video game had a main console release and a 3DS port, and try figuring out if the DS port is an exact port or just copies the general same ideas but creates a whole new game out of it. Reviewers never explain this to me, which is a personal pet peeve of mine. I don't expect any real game reviewers to watch this awkwardly edited amateurish video, but if anyone watching this does somehow write or do a review of whatever future Sonic game will come, do me a favor and really look and describe the level design to me. If people would have been more honest about what Sonic Colors was like, I probably would have had a better experience. I wouldn't have been so bitter about the whole experience. So yeah, that's the point, really. So, get out there, dear audience! And for the love of God, may I never catch any reviewers saying something dumb in their review like, the new Sonic game is just like Sonic Unleashed, Colors and Generations are like, because those three games are not interchangeable. Saying all three are the same is like saying House of Death and Dynamite Cop are the exact same game as Top Skater, because they're all made in the same game engine. No. Well, this chapter's finally over. Look, wake up already.
Who?
Well, I'm off. Farewell.
Bye, Alex. Some more Sonic Colors ranting done, eh, Roger?
No.
Oh, well, see you next time. Cheerio.